Welcome back to Brownlow Books. It's Monday, so that's time for a review. Recently for book club, not my pick, one of my friends' picks, we landed on Among the Missing, a short story collection by Dan, rhymes with Chaon? Dan Chaon? We'll go with that. One of my friends literally put in our Discord, she's like, apparently his last name rhymes with lawn, and I was like, I was saying it like that to be funny. But okay. So, Among the Missing, it's a collection of short stories. It's sort of like people who feel they've gone missing in their own lives, like their lives are not what they expected them to be, things are different than, what's wanted, and so they just kind of feel out of place or like something is not right. They don't always necessarily realize what it is. Sometimes they're very aware of what it is. It's kind of this like interesting collection of people. This is not for me. I'll say that. This was not my favorite thing. It wasn't my least favorite thing. I mean, it was just sort of casual indifference. I was like, okay, we're moving on to another story. Okay, another story. Like, just short story collections for me in general aren't usually high on my list. So each of these stories focuses on one person, and they're kind of like realistically dark thoughts that people kind of have showing up in them. Like this whole like thing of self-preservation is very apparent of like, yeah, I don't really love where I'm at, but like the self-preservation to like keep it to themselves, to keep whatever's going on with them to themselves, like is very realistic, and like the dark thoughts that sometimes go along with that, like props. It felt very realistic of like how people like act and think, with a notable exception. I don't know if Dan is aware of his own sort of casual misogyny or not, but 99% of the women in this book are either hysterical or cold. The second story that involves a bird, if you have trigger warnings of animal abuse, just skip that one. She was the only one that I felt like wasn't crazy in a way that felt very pointed towards women. Yeah, the men all have these like rational, realistic thoughts of like how their life is and what's going on and all this kind of stuff, but the women are either cold shells, heartless mothers, absolutely hysterical, gone crazy in this life that they never imagined for themselves. Like, it just felt so very pointed that it was like women, So, I didn't love that. Like I said, a trigger warning for some animal abuse with the bird. Mild for some cat action. I think it was the next story after that. It's not outright. It's like a kid says he traps cats to interrogate them because he thinks he's a detective. But like, there's kind of a subtext there where you're like, yeah. So, there's lots of trigger warnings on this book besides that one. I mean, it is snapshots in people's lives with dark, dark shit and thoughts, and like, if you have any trigger warning whatsoever, fucking don't read it. Just, be aware of them, look it up, you're responsible for your own. I mean, yeah. If you think it might be your kind of thing, but you're like, I have the specific trigger warning, find out. You can message me if you want. Find me on my Instagram, just be like, hey, I want to read this book, but like, this? And I'll tell you yes or no and whatever you want to know about it. You should avoid it if you like endings. Because like I said, these are sort of like snapshots into these people's lives. They're not like a full story, so like you do not get any kind of closure with literally any of them. Like, it's literally just like, here's the little bit. There's no closure, there's no ending. None of the stories go together in any way whatsoever, so there's no like cohesiveness throughout all of it in terms of like a storyline. It is truly a collection of short stories. So, like I said, it was very dark. Almost to the point of depressing. I did not let it take me there. I was having a bad week to begin with, and I was like, I don't want to read this for book club on this weekend. Just not going to read it. And then I pushed through, and I was like, okay, there's a few of them that were like, but some of them were just like, oh, all right. So, I mean, for some people that's fine, for some people it's not. Just, yeah. Trigger warnings on this book. Not for me. I don't recommend it. Like, I don't. I just don't. On Goodreads, it has 2,817 ratings, 4.04 stars, which is kind of amazing. There is a weird thing with this on Goodreads, though. Like, 90% of the reviews on it are, like, written in Arabic? And I was like, that feels weird. I wonder why that is. I never found an answer to that because I couldn't translate them on my phone. And it wouldn't translate on... How the hell we translate everything except Goodreads? That's fucking weird. Anyways, okay. We don't need to go on a tangent about Goodreads. So, yeah. Not for me. Might be for you. But, like, I don't really recommend it. There's probably some dude out there who's like, this is the fucking best book ever. Stay away from that dude. Alright, thanks for hanging out, and I will see you around next time.